We ran into a vehicle had already been used to block the road. And my driver said, God bless my driver, I didn't mention his name. Chinedu. He went through all the ordeal with me. Young man, I adopt you as my son. God bless you. He's in Benin now. He said, Oga, people are saying I'm robbers. Then I said, then turn the car, reverse. As he put it on reverse, a gun was on my head. Automatic weapon. And they said, don't move. You move an inch, we blast you. I told Chinedu, don't move. They dragged me out of the car. Dragged Chinedu out of the car. Shot the tire of the vehicle. Put Chinedu in the boot of the car. And put me inside the car. Then met another driver inside. They said if we dare look up, they will kill us. We closed our eyes. And we were pressed on the ground inside the car. As we were pressed down, I heard them say, oh, police, 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 police. Then one of them said, no retreat, no surrender, let's meet them. Because I couldn't look up, apparently, they moved out of the car. And I could hear guns booming. It was a staccato of bullets raining. Here comes Armageddon. It was a war situation. And they were firing. And as they were firing, the car was moving. They were telling them advance a little. Then I heard them shout again, another vehicle, shoot. Then they started another round of. And then I heard them say, oh, we killed some of them. We killed some of them. Then tomorrow now, they will come out and lie and say some of us were killed or injured, even though none of us have been injured. I heard them saying that. Ladies and gentlemen, the good news that we have been delivered safe and unhurt and unharmed. The bad news that I was not profiled, we were never profiled or targeted, meaning that they merely operated randomly. It is bad news because it could have been any person, any other person. Bad news because it was when we were in the car with eyes closed that they started preliminary questions. What is your name? I said, Chief Michael Zekome, SAM. They set my pocket, took out the complimentary cards and other possession. I heard the card, I said, what is your full name? I said, my full name is Chief Michael Zekome, SAM. Constitutional lawyer, human rights activist, Akpakpa Bigibiadola. They said yes. They said yes, you are a man of truth. That's what is written on your card. I didn't even know they were holding my card. They said, so you are a lawyer? I said, yes, sir. How long have you practiced? I said, 32 years. I said, well, even if you tell us lies, by tomorrow, we know who you are. Do you know what? We always know who you are when we capture, when we kidnap people through the press. So even if you lie, we are going to know who you are tomorrow. That is how we were driven for about 4.5 hours. Through rough roads, through highways. You could feel it on the body that you are on the highway. You could feel it on the body that you are on a rocky path. You could feel it on the body that you are in a swamp. You could feel it on the body that you are inside the forest, that you are on a footpath that is not tarred. About 4.5 hours. Before they dumped us in a small, uncompleted building, far away from civilization. Far away. And it was 24 hours guard, security guard. Fellow Nigerians. We are not talking of toy carrying kidnappers. They told me that they have cell units across Nigeria. They reminded me, didn't you see that a footballer's father was captured in Jos and taken to Kano? Didn't you hear of the white men who were killed in Bruni Kebbi and Bauchi and Kano? Didn't you hear of the deputy governor of Anambra State that was executed? They started mentioning them. That they are everywhere. So I asked them, how did you know me then? Why did you come for me? They said, we didn't know you. We just operated. And you happen to have run into us. And that when they started reading of me, they said, we believe that God allowed us to catch you for a purpose. To draw attention to the world, to draw national and international attention to this issue of kidnapping. They were even advising me that I should not blame God, I should glorify God. That the things they have been reading of me, about me, show that attention is being drawn to this issue of kidnapping. Then, of course, all of them are always hooded and masked, so you cannot know or recognize anybody. Because even though they are hooded and masked, even when they are talking to you, whether in the afternoon or in the night, you must still close your eyes. If you don't close your eyes, you'll be in trouble. The death sentence was always hanging on us 24 hours a day. The experience was one of horrendous tragedy. It was horrific, to put it mildly. We were psychologically tortured. We were mentally, excruciatingly tortured. We suffered from psychical trauma. It was spiritually unnerving. It was physically debilitating. It was the nearest thing to death on hell. Fellow countrymen, if hell is worse than that, let us all pray that we will never go to hell. So the bad news is that any Nigerian, in any place, on any way, whether highway, footpath, could be a victim. The bad news is that in our unit where we were captured and detained, there were also others. There was a woman with her 2 small sons and a little girl, daughter, and a driver. There were 2 other women and their driver. We were about 13 in all. So it showed that when they strike, they do not really care who you are. But the important thing is that they have struck and they know that you must have people out there that they can deal with. That is the danger. That is why I'm going to make some suggestions here to the federal government of Nigeria. That we have in our hands a national calamity. We have in our hands a clear and present danger. We have in our hand a situation of monumental and gargantuan proportion. A situation that calls for urgent national rethinking. A situation that calls for presidential intervention. Not today, not tomorrow, not next week, as soon as yesterday, as urgent as yesterday. Let no one deceive themselves that we are dealing with a little phenomenon. Let no one fool himself or herself that we are dealing with toy gun carrying kidnappers. They told us that they cannot be caught with by any security outfit because their phones cannot be tracked. Their phones cannot be tracked. We asked them, why can't your phones be tracked? They said because they said, can you see that we don't allow you to talk every day? Can you tell people to shut up? They said, can you see that we only allow you to talk once in 3 days? I said, yes, sir. They said that is because before they grant us any opportunity to talk, they have to make special preparation. That where we are, for example, or where we were, that before they speak to me, the person who is going to speak to me, we have to travel across about 4 or 5 states outside where we were detained. And then the person will be on a highway and make the call. When he makes the call to their person, then they will now connect the person that represents me that they are talking with. They told me on one occasion that they are aware that some security agents went to Port Harcourt or where they decided to arrest innocent people. That they use all those ones as decoy. That their calls do not originate from where their victims are detained. That they can't be so stupid. Ladies and gentlemen, we are dealing with very well-read people, graduates, that speak impeccable English. Very well-read graduates that talk philosophy. That when they are hooded, they discuss national issues with you. Problems of the country. Why they said they are in the forest, in the jungles. Why they are fighting against.
This kidnapping of a teen, guys, is really, really serious. So it is very, very serious. And sometimes when we hear the experience of some people who have been involved, then it's make us ask have the idea of the gravity of what we have even put ourselves into in this country. Now, from this man, you could see that this man is actually still in shock. Like, seriously, this man is still in shock because from the way it's talking, you can see that he's traumatized. Like, seriously. It's not a good experience though. Like, seriously, from the way he's talking, I just feel for Nigeria. I feel for all of us. But the question I keep asking myself is it that we cannot actually, as like we can't overcome those people? Does it mean that they've really be able to root themselves that nobody can actually overcome them? Because why is it that our governments are not doing anything about this matter? People come on daily basis to inform us about their experience, bad experiences. And it's looking as if these people does not, maybe because they're not really involved. You don't, these things are kidnapping everything. Some of the times it's happened maybe in villages. They can just enter the villages and just kidnap people, or people that are actually traveling. And in their mind, they don't have people around there who is actually involved. And even if they do, They can easily pay ransom. So I don't understand why we keep complaining about one thing, and I don't get it. I still believe that these people are not even stronger than the nation. They are not. But the truth of the matter is the fact that our country is not even doing anything. The leaders are not even, they're not even taking actions. It's what is baffling me. Each experiences that I hear or listen to on social media just give me a mindset that can we all just leave this country and just let things be, because for how long are we going to continue in this way? Like seriously guys, it's becoming more serious than before, and I think that we need to do something as fast as possible. Drop your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys are feeling about this whole issue of kidnapping and paying ransom.